Hey, good evening, everybody. Welcome to What He Said with Kevin Walker after the aftermath. So we didn't do a show last Wednesday simply because actually last Wednesday was my birthday, March 15th. It was a national holiday. So we took the holiday off to just to chill and do birthday stuff that people normally do when it's their birthday. So we just weren't going to do, you know, stuff that we would normally do. At any rate, we here, we live, we back. New week, new show. Got my girl Randy Kelly right here on the set, on the scene. What's up, Miss Randy?
Nothing much. How are you?
I'm blessed. I'm blessed. So,
Hello out there, TV land.
so we had a marvelous birthday party on this past Sunday.
Off
Marvelous deal.
the chain.
Yeah, no, the one thing that's been consistent is that everybody is saying, "Hey, man, look, we really, for real, enjoyed ourselves and had a damn good time." So that's all I want to do it for. That's the only reason why I want to even give a party. So
It
that
was definitely some. It was definitely some grown folk Pisces in the house for real. It was some good people there, good vibe. I mean, it was literally a grown up party. It was a grown up party.
so Randy, we're not gonna count your party, but have you been to another party this year and had as much fun as you saw around that room on Sunday?
So I've been to some celebrates, but I gotta say that vibe was good. That vibe was definitely good. It was almost as if I think everybody needed that.
Yeah, yeah.
Everybody just needed that laid back, cool daytime party. Let me say this. Been to some cool parties. But of
Mhm.
course, those parties start at 8. So for a daytime party, shit, I forgot what time it was. I thought it was 9 o'clock.
No, we really and truly had a good time, man. We really did.
Yeah.
I'm glad, everybody turned out. A lot of Yates, a lot of Sterling, a lot of Worthing in the building, and we all conducted ourselves like grown folks and had a good time. One thing you ain't got to worry about when grown folks come together is no foolishness, no ignorance.
No foolishness. Don't have no time for it. You're on a different level. Your party is even different. By that time too, we should be at a place where we have the people that love us, support us. They're there to celebrate us. It's another trip around the world that God has blessed us with. We weren't deserving of it.
Yeah,
He still saw fit to see us there in spite of what we've been going through. Going through at the current time, it's always a good time to get with people that love and care about you and support you.
no,
Because
that's
by this time, your circle ought to be solid by now. Your
I,
circle ought to be solid by now.
I totally agree. So
Yeah.
look, guys, we got about 5 to 6 really good topics tonight. Let me give you our topics for tonight. Our topics for tonight is how do you let someone down easy? Like, is there truly a such thing as, hey, then people say it all the time, well, don't break his heart or don't break her heart. Let them down easy. Be so. If somebody love you and care for you and trying to get with you and be with you, is that real to let somebody down easy? So that's a topic we'll look at and talk about and examine from our perspective. So another route we'll go is what have you learned then changed in your life? Like once you figured it out and was like, okay, that don't work, now I'm being an asshole or that don't work because yada, yada, yada. You learned it, you fixed it, and then you made the change moving forward. So what about you did you do that with? Not only that, what have you truly outgrown in your life? Because people always say, oh, I'm grown. Well, if you grown, you shouldn't be doing high school shit. Just because you make I'm going to say my comments about that one. But yeah,
Yeah.
so what have you truly outgrown in your life? And does everyone have a cheat code? And we're going to start there, but I'm going to go a different route because we have a conversation piece that we're going to tap into from Randy. And last but not least, my last topic that I want to hit y'all with in the last 10 or 15 minutes. If you meet somebody and you think she's sexy or you think he's sexy, but then you start hearing things about them from a promiscuous standpoint, does the body count of another individual even matter to you at our age? Do you care that, hey, everybody at her job then ran through her, right? Hey, she's the post office hoe, right? Hey, she's the FedEx freak, right? Hey, in high school, her whole street. I'm just saying, like, does her body count truly matter? So, you know what? Let's start there, Randy. Let's start there.
You would.
I want you to ask me right now is the question you posed right before we were going on air.
I forgot what it was. Remind me.
So you asked me about, does it matter if it's
a man seeking a woman or a woman seeking a man? Yeah. Right. I'm sorry. So my question is, does it matter to you or overall if a man decides he's ready to settle down, be in a relationship, that's what he's looking for, and so he's out there seeking something solid? And is it a difference if a woman has decided she's ready to settle down, find something solid, and she seeks after the relationship? Is there a difference?
I don't think it's a difference because I think in either situation there has to be a conversation.
Okay.
So if there has never been a conversation that I'm ready to be exclusive with you or you're ready to be exclusive with me, as a man, I can't expect for Randy to feel how I feel and vice versa.
Right. But wait a minute, not to interrupt you. This is my question though, meaning let's just move a little bit deeper.
Mm-hmm.
Is the courtship different? That's what I'm saying. Like, is a man willing to just to rule out whatever? He may see somebody attractive. Let me see what she's all about. Mm-hmm. Does he cut it short because of where his mindset is? Versus women, we'll kind of take on some stuff because in our minds, we're processing it. We'll change along the way because it's what we seek, because we're more on an emotional level, of course, versus a man who's flat out don't have time for it. This is what I want. I want nothing less, nothing more. I'm not settling.
I think that goes back to the last topic that I just read off, the whole body count issue. And that's why I said, let's start with body count, because I think that ties directly in. So as a female, does it matter to you how many women or the reputation of the guy that you're interested in? What if he was the high school hoe? What if he 10 kids deep? Does that really matter to you?
I would say the amount of kids matter to me, because I think a man that lays his seed in different places is not capable of commitment or responsibility. Mm-hmm. So versus the matter of bodies versus the matter of in the matter of children count is more important to me than your body count, because that's in your past. That's what you did. There's nothing that I can do about it. And everybody has a past of some sort. Everybody. I'm not concerned what they said to you, about you in high school. I'm really not concerned about your reputation. If you're not a liar, thief, you're just a bad person, but you're known as something from the past. Everybody's known about something that they did. So it's like, what's your current situation? Like I said, for me, I'm not doing no more than 3 kids.
Yeah. So you know what though? I've heard so many women initially say what you're saying. So what happens so why do women jump on the fact and say, oh, he It's a girl code. I'll give you an example. So it's a lady when I was married that sold my house that me and my ex-wife had together.
Uh-huh.
So we were sitting inboxing, talking back and forth. She had an event. She invited me to the event, and we had been communicating back and forth. This was for a while.
Okay.
So I was like, shit, I mean, you know, what's up? You want to go to dinner? And she was like, I would, but I just don't want to break the girl code. Like, what fucking girl code? My ex don't even know you.
Right. Yeah.
So what girl code are you talking about?
I might be different, and I'm sure I might even get slammed about this, but I'm willing to take it because I stand in my truth. I don't necessarily believe in a girl code. Now, if it's your marriage and your ex-wife, then yeah, you draw the line. But to me, boyfriend, girlfriend, that's up for grabs. That's for me. I actually personally I've gone through that where I had a best friend for years. I'm talking 20 plus years.
Uh-huh.
So I dated this guy when I was like 12, really was really a boyfriend at 12, but we were all in the same circle. She knew we were boyfriend and girlfriend 12, 14 years old. So let's just fast forward. She started dating him. Now, what we had, did it matter at 12? Probably not. Whatever, right? Y'all start dating, y'all break up. So now here we are 25 years later. You said you met this guy. She's been dating this guy now. That's 4 years. Somebody new.
Mm-hmm.
And she said that her new boo was her everything. She prayed for him. She don't want nobody else. She not worried about what's been in her past and who she dated in her past. This is her person. Well, needless to say, the ex resurfaced and he and I, hit it off. I called her and told her what was going on. And I said, I just wanted you to know what was happening because I didn't want you to hear it in the streets. I know it's been 25 years plus since you guys have even dated. So, I don't think it should matter to you. And plus you found your forever person.
Uh-huh.
She got mad and we're not friends to this day. Now, to say that I was breaking a girl code, it's 25 years later. And you said you found your person. You said this new guy is your everything. So again, to me, everybody in your past is up for grabs. And who cares?
Yeah.
If you found your forever person.
But you know what I found, Randy? I think the only people who are truly sensitive about that, people who are sensitive about that is women. I don't think men approach that with the same fervor as women do. Because honestly, for me, and I'm speaking strictly for Kevin Walker,
Yeah.
like, man, I could care less. Like, because if I've moved on, like,
yeah,
I don't care who dating her now.
But where women mess up, to me, stop sharing how good the dick is. Stop sharing your stories. Because once you put it out there, you know who you hang with. You know what type of friend your friend is. So when you saying, girl, he put it down last night, he did this, he did that. And if his pocket's full and he's spending money, who ain't looking for that same thing?
Good dick and spending money, huh?
Okay? So who ain't looking for that same thing? Keep your business to yourself. And then it wouldn't plant the seed of, well, That's why we always say, well, girl, where his friend at?
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
You got any brothers? Shut up. Another single female don't need to know how me and my man rock in the bedroom.
Yeah.
Period. And I think that will cut out that girl code stuff.
So let me ask you this. Does a man's body count matter to a woman?
I think some women. I mean, again, What bothers you about it? That's what you need to ask yourself. Are you bothered because somebody out there was getting that same piece of good wank like you? Was he doing the same thing that he's doing to me? Did he do to the other people?
But now let me tell you this. When I was young and in my 20s, this girl found out I was messing around with this other chick. And the only thing she wanted to know was, and she asked the other girl, do he do this to you? Do he do that to you? Like,
Yeah.
why do people ask that question? Do you really want to know?
Because we think, okay, if y'all not kissing, then it is just fucking. If he not going down on you, that means he don't have no feelings for you. So it is just fucking. And that's how we condition our minds to separate what our heart is trying to make it be, because we didn't already gave up the cookies. And now we in love, but we got strong feelings and don't want to give it up. So in our minds, we condition, okay, so what's more important? How far did he go with this person? And am I different from the 300? Am I different from the 50 prior women?
But now let me say this. You brought up the going down. I dated a woman for 12 years and never went down because I just wasn't feeling her like that.
Again, that's women dividing.
You don't feel, as a man, you don't have the same love or the same sexual intensity with every woman. The intensity level,
that.
The passion is totally different.
Right. I understand it. But again, it's women trying to condition and make the situation work for us. So again, I'm not ready to let this man go. So what can I tell myself, again, to make me above the rest? And so if I feel above the rest, then I feel special to that man.
So Callie says, or her name is Kylie, but her ghetto friends say Callie, so they got me saying Callie. But her name is Kylie. She said, Houston is a very large city. Why are we dating in the same circles?
I say we're familiar.
Elisa Denise says, get people out of your bedroom. So you're saying the body count shouldn't matter. Doesn't matter.
No, I don't think it should. I mean, again, everybody has a past.
Let me tell you why that's not true, and that's not really how you feel.
Okay.
So let's say you go to a party with your dude. You show up at the party. Now, you know about 2 women in there because he dated one right before you, and he got it from another one in there. But then you find out that he done knocked out 4 or 5 women in the room, and now you woman number 6 in the room. That don't make you as a woman feel some kind of way. I'm in this party with my dude, and he fucked 6 women in here.
At all, because I no telling what he might run into when he come to one of my kids together.
Oh my God.
Hey, but again, it's all about the person and how they make you feel secure in any situation. Because why should I know? See, if I were things solid, there's not a woman that could come up to me and tell me about my man. Even if I don't know at the moment, I'm not gonna let her know I don't know.
So
now I'm gonna get up your ass in the car.
I wasn't gonna mention who the woman was, but she came on here and outed herself. She said, I heard your example, Kevin, and I stand behind what I said. Nobody even knew I was talking about her. And she came on here and outed herself. I just said somebody. I ain't say no names. Oh my God, John. Okay. So
it's all about the security and how I make you feel. If I make you feel secure, and we've had that discussion about my past, of course I'm not going to give you a list. My words have been, okay, when I was out there, I was out there. Now you take that interpretation like you want to. So that could mean 50, that could mean 10, that could mean 5.
Yeah, but at the same time, like as a man, for me, and maybe I'm different, I don't even fucking want to know when I'm in a room with you as my woman. Don't tell me, yeah, you know, me and him used to date. Bitch, I don't care because I'm not going to volunteer that information to you.
Maybe she didn't want you to feel off guarded by something.
But let me tell you this as a man. Again, I talk every week, and you've heard me say it a million times. The biggest thing on a man is his ego. So a lot of times when we in a room, even when we're in an intimate setting, even if my dick ain't the best or the biggest or the whatever is, make your man feel like the shit in the moment. Make me feel like the only nigga that had that pussy, even though I
Yeah.
know I'm not. But make me feel some kind of way. Cater to me. Let me cater to you, honey. This is your, cater to me. Beyonce tried.
I think you on that. Well, I'm not, me personally, I'm not gonna place the person that I'm dating in any uncomfortable situation. So if I know that I'm attending an event and there's several people there that I've dated, again, depending on how strong we are, if it's the beginning, I probably won't. But depending on how strong we are, I'm explaining the situation to you.
But
I'm gonna tell you, hey, listen. One, because what if somebody steps to you?
I
Then
don't
what?
care though. I don't care. I'm just talking about me. So nobody can come tell me, hey, you know, Randy used to fuck with old boy over there. I don't give a fuck. I'm not
Right.
feeding into that. You got
Yeah.
a dude too.
Yeah.
I could absolutely.
I think that's a conversation, like you always say, from the very beginning. You get an understanding. First
Yeah.
thing you get is an understanding. I don't care who you dated in the past. It don't bother me. I don't care about it. I want to get to know
Because
you and who you
look,
are right now.
first and foremost, Randy, I have a list that's unheard of. And I'm going to forget somebody on my list, even if you say, okay, well, we went to high school together. Tell me every girl you slept with. There's no way I can tell you every girl I slept with in high school. I'm just being honest.
I'm
There's
doing you like this because that's stank dangalang.
But I'm just being
Thank you, dangalang.
there's no way you can expect for me to go back and say, okay, when you were a major college athlete, can you tell me every girl you slept with, black or white, on the campus at Texas Tech? Can you tell me every?
I mean, listen.
I
Yeah.
can't.
Yeah.
So,
And what does that mean again now at our age? We've gone through so many other major situations in our lives, major issues, major decision makings. Do you really think I'm going 20, 25 years, 30 years to appease you? I'm not doing it.
yeah, Felicia Williams said, leave the past where it is, in the past. That's true. Leave it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Callie says, don't date in your friend circle. But Callie, that's not dating in your friend circle. If we date, I'm talking about showing up to a foreign party. Showing up to a foreign party and 6 or 7 people there just by chance.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, if walls could talk,
Right.
Lord
Right.
have mercy. Lord have
But you know what? I'll say this. It depends on you too and who you are and how you've carried yourself throughout the years, even in the years of you being promiscuous, not caring, being uncommitted, irresponsible. It's still how you carried yourself as a person through that. If nobody is approaching you going, you motherfucker, you fucked me Friday night, I ain't heard, you know what I'm saying? Versus, hey, Kevin, how you doing? It's all about how you've carried yourself and still how you treat people throughout.
And let me tell you something. You're absolutely right about that. Because
Mm-hmm.
I've been in some rooms to where you mad at person A and person A ain't even got no dick. Person A just a homie and cool and silly and chilling, but you ain't saying shit about B, C, D, E,
The
F.
ones you need to be asking questions about.
You ignoring all of them.
Look, you ain't even looking at the fact that I'm walking in a room like this. Oh, hey, hey, hey.
Who invited y'all?
Yeah, yeah.
How y'all get here? Who told y'all?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know. So let me ask you this:
gotcha.
as it relates to Randy Kelly, what
Mm-hmm.
have you truly outgrown as a person? Just hey, look, I ain't doing this. What have you truly outgrown as an individual from a relationship standpoint, from a life perspective, that you outgrown it and you think because you outgrew it, it made you a better person?
One, I literally stopped worrying about who liked me.
Hmm.
Keeping friends, not wanting to make enemies, didn't want anybody mad at me. I wanted everybody to like me. I didn't want to have any out feelings about, who I was and or my intentions. I thought people literally mattered. I thought friendships was what you had to have in this world. And once I literally stopped giving a damn what people thought, and when I say thought, that's just what I mean. Without having a conversation with me, you've already masked your opinion about me and who I was,
Mm-hmm.
and not given a fair chance because maybe of what you heard other people say, but again, just the outlook of what you thought my life was.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
so you formed your opinion about me. And here I am trying to change it and convince you something different. And it literally drained my energy. It drained who I was, and I forgot who I was because I'm trying to again appease your thoughts about me when you really don't give a shit. You
yeah.
really don't care. And then the other thing was prejudgments, just as somebody was judging me. Prejudgments and gossiping. It's one thing to kind of state facts, man. Oh man, did you know Randy was getting a divorce? I thought her and Chris was good. Those are facts. But when you start dragging people's character through the mud, that's something else. And so I would find myself in the circle listening, agreeing, again, passing judgment without really knowing the true fact. And so I've pulled myself away from the gossiping aspect of people who are people and they're human. And they don't deserve to have their name dragged through the mud for any reason.
Yeah.
So I've grown from that. That was a big problem.
I think the one thing that life has taught me, I didn't learn it. Life taught it to me. Life gave it to me.
Yeah.
And I think the one thing that life gave to me raw was change,
Mm-hmm.
because I went from 1 year being married for 20 plus years, having 3 or 4 kids, to losing a kid, to losing a wife, being divorced, being in a hospital, being off work for 9 months, nearly dying, being in an induced coma.
Yeah.
So it's hard for me now, honestly, just as a person, it's hard for me now to take bullshit from people, because I know as quick as we're in one phase, life will take you in another phase. So
Just
I'm
like
not
that.
going to waste my time. What I've learned is not to waste my time fucking with bullshit people. Excuse my language. But
But yeah,
that more than anything else is what I've learned. If you can't grow and you can't listen and you can't learn, then we can't hang.
right. Absolutely. I say this now. Either stick with me or fall the fuck off. That's it. Either ride with me or fall the fuck off. All of this babysitting feelings, trying to figure out this, trying to figure out that as it pertains to me and my happiness and my peace and my joy. Now, I shouldn't have to do that. I
No,
should not have to do that. I shouldn't have to appease a grown person about what me and God created and what I love. I love myself and I love God. So I shouldn't have to continue to explain who I am to you to make you happy. No, that means you're not happy with me. And that's fine. Get the fuck on. Like, why are we, doing this power struggle for somebody to change? People show you who they are. They show you exactly who they are. And they're only apologizing because it's something they want. Because an apology without change is manipulative behavior.
You better, hey, say that again.
Apology without change is manipulative behavior. All I'm doing is, I need to say
write that down and text that to your homegirl. Write that down and text that to your homegirl.
You better leave my homegirl alone.
No, I'm just no. I'm just saying. I'm not talking about nobody.
All right.
I'm telling everybody who's watching to write it down and text it to their homegirl
or their homeboy.
Yeah,
let's be clear. Let's be clear.
But I don't date boys, so I want the homegirls to get it. So you can say homeboy.
Ladies, text them to them little boys we trying to make men out here, okay?
No, but you're right. You're right. That was a great point. That was an absolutely great point.
Yeah, you can't do it. I mean, it takes each other to push through this world. We do need each other. The word says, we can't live by bread alone. I need you. I need you to uphold me. And at my weakest moment, I need those encouraging words. We're to encourage each other, and uplift each other. And again, you're draining my well when I'm constantly giving and showing. And, after a while, you fully drenched. And here I am dry. And you haven't offered a sip to me because you're still the same person. Still the same person. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, so having outgrown that, having learned that and applied it to your life, making the change, I want to ask you about something that you know more about now about yourself is as a mother. How has that change in your life made you a better mother? Let's talk about that.
Oh my God. Let's just talk about the judgment, because being a mother taught me if nothing else, you never say what your child not gonna do. And so just as you wouldn't want somebody to drag your child, you should be in that position doing the same to anybody else. And so that again changed my whole perspective in judgment, period. Because I could say, it's easy for us to say, oh, if he was my daughter, if she or she was my daughter and he was my son, oh, I'm not having this, or I'm not having that. They would have to do this, or they would have to do that, until you're in that position. Until God places you in that very same position to show grace, to show mercy. As mothers, trust me, last week, my gangster was tested to the ultimate. And the one thing God told me was all things, everything start and end with me. So until you come back to me, then your son is going to continue to do the things that he's doing. He's 17. He's not grasping the wisdom you giving him. You just talking.
Yeah.
Now, one thing that you gave him was Jesus. So he knows the Lord. So he's covered. But I need you to come back to me and redirect yourself in this mothering and parenting thing. So, again, it's that grace and mercy that I allow my son, as I should allow that same grace and mercy to the outside people as well. Like I said, when we give up as mothers and think we're at the end of our road and this is it and this is done, he got to go, she got to go. And yes, however, God gives us another plan out of nowhere. And there we are trying this next avenue to save our kids.
So let me ask you this. Let's flip out of mother mode for 1 second.
Okay.
Let's go into relationship mode. Having learned some things and changed some things and outgrown some things, how has that made you a better woman to date for someone? Because a lot of times, let me say this, a lot of times when we change our surroundings as well, because our party family ain't our grown and mature family. Because sometimes we have to remove, as men, we have to move away from some of the women we were dealing with in one aspect of our lives, because you're trying to take your life a different route.
Right.
So because I'm trying to go down Thrush Street to get to MLK, and I know once I cross South Bank to get to that last block of Thrush, that's where my demons are.
Right.
So sometimes we have to take a detour to get to
the
end of the road.
Absolutely.
So when taking that detour in life, there comes changes, comes some things we have to let go, come some things we have to outgrow.
Right. And
so
people.
How does that make us better in our next situation? Or how have you found it to make you better?
Okay. So the very first thing, and I hate to say it. I hate it. I started to listen. Not listen to defend myself. Not listen to, again, pass judgment.
And I was just about to ask you that. Are you listening to change or listening to defend?
Right. And 9 times out of 10 in my past, I was listening to defend, because who are you to tell me what you don't like about me? What? Ain't nobody finna do that. So I didn't even hear what was being asked of me. All I knew was I felt you were trying to change me, so I had to get into defense mode, period. So one, listen not to defend myself. Listen not to pass judgment. And listen for the truth. And so once I started doing that, it placed me in a position not to give 100% Randy to everybody, because everybody didn't deserve 100% Randy. Some people only deserve 30% of Randy. Once I listened, again, some people deserved girlfriend Randy, homegirl Randy. Some people deserved to see how I would be as a wife, as somebody that you could depend on. But that's not for everybody. I wasn't supposed to show everybody what I was capable of, because everybody can't appreciate it. Everybody is not in a position to take it in. So that's what I learned on the relationship part of it, is to listen and take people for who they say they are. If they tell you I'm not ready for a relationship, then you're not ready for a relationship. So I have to tell myself, go ahead.
I'm glad you said that. So what happens when that person say they are ready for a relationship? Not just a relationship, they ready for marriage. But what you see is a person that's not marriage material.
For you.
For me. They say they ready for a marriage, but you don't need marriage material. Because I can say this. Let me say this. I'm gonna be transparent about me and my situation.
Okay.
So the fact that I am divorced, I can say I had a great woman. My ex-wife is a great woman. I'll give her that credit. We just had our differences because we stopped loving each other.
Okay.
Everything else became more important than each other did.
Right.
So the one thing I did learn from that is to always keep that woman first. Keep loving that woman. Keep showing
Absolutely.
how much you love her. Because when
Right.
you forget about her, there's a propensity in her mind to forget about you the same way you forgetting
Yeah.
about her.
Right. Right.
So being a conversationalist is
Mm-hmm.
very important. Communicating with your mate is the ultimate
It's key.
for any situation.
It's key. Right.
But when people say, yeah, I'd love to be married, I'm ready to be married, I'd love to marry you, I'd love to, but you don't see that growth and potential in that person to be a mate. Now watch how I transition to our last subject. How do you
Mm-hmm.
let, how do you let them down easy? Is there truly a such thing as letting somebody down easy who claim, see them air quotes,
Yeah.
who claim they love you?
Okay. So, number one, again, as you always say, an understanding has to be established first. See, what I don't understand is how, if somebody is saying, okay, I'm ready for marriage, I'm ready to be a wife, I'm ready to settle down. Let's just say you on the fence about it. You might not be ready right then, but if this person shows you the things that you feel like will set you in that mindset, you give it a
Hold on.
chance.
Let me stop you right there.
Okay.
First, you got to get me on the fence.
So then,
I ain't even approached the fence, let alone climbed it to get on it.
okay. So that's what I'm
Because,
saying. Then if that's the case, how do they get to exchanging the word "I love you" if you're not the person that they're looking for? How do y'all get to the point of somebody is saying "I love you"?
because you can't control no one's feelings nor emotions but your own. Randy can't be accountable for nobody else's actions but Randy Kelly. Kevin can't be accountable for nobody's actions but Kevin. So if some dude is saying, Randy, I really love you, man, I really want to be with you, you the one I want to marry. If you don't feel that way, you just don't feel that way. You can't control how he feels. All you can control is how you feel. But
Right.
I think for men, I think for most men, we look for a woman who's already a wife because women come with wifey characteristics.
No, not necessarily.
Yes, a
No.
woman is already a wife when you meet her. You just make
No. No. Not no. No, that's not true.
yes, yes.
One, you have to know how to be a wife to even have those. The reason why I know how to be a wife, because I grew up with a wife. My mother was a wife. If I had a daughter right now today, she would not know how to be a wife because I'm not one. So she wouldn't know how to be a wife at 25, 35, 45. That would be something she's learning along the way. She would never see me cater to a man. She would never see me those things that wives do. She would never see that. So how would she know? I have an idea of how to be a wife because that's what my mother showed me. That's what I was raised. That's the environment that I had for 26 years.
Mm-hmm.
So every woman
So
don't
what
come.
you're telling me, what you're basically telling me is that if my dad was never in my home as a child, I don't know how to love and nurture and be a husband to a woman.
I'm saying you had to learn it somewhere, somehow, but you didn't learn it within your home. You didn't learn it from the very beginning of you taking your first step and what you see and what you knew to apply to your life. Your childhood is your blueprint. You may have seen how to be a husband at a friend's house, but it wasn't in your home. So it wasn't every day. It wasn't a routine that you saw. And it's all about the example that you was given.
But let me
Because
tell
your
you,
dad
why,
could
let me
have,
let
okay,
me
I'm
tell
sorry.
you why I disagree with that. Totally.
Okay.
Because the Bible says he who finds a wife, it don't say he who finds a single woman. The Bible say he who finds a wife finds a good thing. That means when you meet that woman, she's already in wifey mode,
No,
M-O-D.
she is not. No.
Let me finish
She
my
is.
point. Let me
Okay.
finish my point.
Let me activate my listening ears.
So
All
I
right.
would I would even venture to say or use the example of a 16, 20, 25-year old first time female as a parent. She's automatically a nurturer to her baby once she has that baby. I can even use dogs for the example. Anybody out here who's watched their dog deliver their puppies, when those puppies hit the earth, that mother, that female dog goes into action. She cleans her puppies. She makes sure the cage or the kennel is clean. It is not a learned behavior. Racism is a learned behavior. Being a mother, being a wife, you don't learn how to be a wife. You have instincts as a person. Your character, you are who you are. So when a man walks in a room, 9 times out of 10, if there's the same way they say during sex, there are certain enzymes that are released that makes a woman feel some kind of way about that man, that makes a woman heart rush, that makes a woman succumb to whatever it is. I can't think of what that enzyme is, but I'm sure if Elisa is on here, she gonna type it in at the bottom. It's a natural reaction as a woman to be a nurturer and to be submissive. A man shouldn't be submissive to his woman. Submission is the act of a female. It's not the what did she say it is? Yeah, phenomenon, well, that.
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm saying is submission is the act of a woman, not the act of a man. The Bible doesn't say nothing about the man being submissive. It say the man is the leader and the head. So as a man, all I know how to do is take control of my current situation. Now, as a woman, if she doesn't know how to follow, if she doesn't know how to not to step on her man's toes, if she doesn't know how to let her man's ego have the room for the moment and walk away from that, then yeah, the marriage won't be successful. But I think the submissive part of a woman, some women exercise their demons at work because they can't exercise them at home. They know that husband ain't going for that. And you hear all the time how people say, boy, that Miss Nancy something else. I bet she give Mr. Johnson the blues. No, she don't. She get home and sit her ass down somewhere and shut the hell up. Now, if she want to have a conversation with her honey, they probably go in a room and she voice her opinion and say, but I think the natural order and the natural progression in life is simple. I think, and Elisa, you on here, you can come in and tell me if you think I'm right or wrong. I think it's simple that a woman is born into this world as a wife. Either you have it or you don't.
Okay.
I don't think that's a learned behavior. You can't learn to be a wife. You can't.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. Make your point. I've made mine.
I totally 110% disagree with your ass tonight. First of all, you are not born into anything but sin. That's all. That's all you born into. I could be 12 years old. I could be 16. I could be 26. I don't necessarily have that natural instinct that when my baby is born, I'm supposed to hold my baby up to my breast and feed my baby. I'm supposed to kiss on my baby. I'm supposed to hug my baby. I'm supposed to change my baby diaper. That baby is supposed to feel like I am all that baby has.
And you saying that's a learned behavior?
That is a learned behavior because it's learned because of what you see and what you experience in life prior to. If I never knew touch, if I never knew affection, attention, love, How do I know to show that to anything or anybody else, whether I carried that baby 9 months or not? Because certain things are instilled. It's learned behavior. That's why you have some babies or some people who are not affectionate. And what do they tell you? Oh, my mom and daddy didn't show, we wouldn't know affection in my house. However, when they do have that first feeling of love and falling in love, and that partner shows them the number one thing that they can count on, which is security. Oh, I can trust you holding my hand. You putting your arm around my waist and pulling me close to you in a crowd. Oh, this is what security feels like.
But
So because I love you, I'm ready to put my guard down and let you in because.
But you making my
Okay,
point. You making my point.
you just said it came natural. I'm telling you, being a mother and being a wife is not natural.
But
It's not. It's
when
a
I,
learned
when I
behavior.
grab you and hug you and pull you close, that's a feeling. That's an
But
emotion.
what I'm saying is for the other person, you have to know to do that in order to show it.
But that's not
I
learned.
have to.
That's not learned.
Yes, that is. Who
No,
taught you to hug?
hold on.
How do you know to hug?
Nobody had to teach you to hug.
Kid,
Nobody
where
taught
do
you
you learn
that.
it from? That is an act.
Listen, hold on, Randy. Nothing about me looking at a woman and my dick getting hard had to be taught. Nobody taught that. Nobody.
Because again, that's what your mind and your testosterone level says. Okay, that's
my
what you
point to
like.
you. That's not learned. That's what I'm saying. That's
No,
natural.
no, you're saying, listen, being a man is who you are. That's your role. That's what you came here with. Being a man, that's what you identify as. What you're saying, we're talking about roles. We're talking about the mother role and a wife role. That is learned behavior. Me being a female is who I am. Part of me being a female in my anatomy and my natural being on this earth and what the world view me as a woman, breast, vagina. That says I'm a woman on paper. I'm a female. I have a cycle every month. I'm a female. My exam to my doctor is totally different because my anatomy is different from a male. My role as a wife, my role as a mother is learned behavior. I had to learn to be a mother. I'm still learning right now today. I had to learn when my baby came home from the hospital, there are different cries that I had to pay attention to. One cry, I'm hungry. One cry, I'm wet. One cry, pick me up. That's learned behavior to be a mother. I had to tell myself what type of mother I wanted to be. And I didn't want to be a mother like my mom because that's what I experienced. That's what I learned. I didn't like that. As a wife, I watched my mother do certain things. I knew what I wanted to be as a wife based on my experience.
So you're saying the natural nurturing of a mother is a learned behavior. It's not
It is
innate.
a learned behavior. Not every mother is nurturing.
How do gorillas and all these animals of the wild protect and nurture
Do
kids?
you know how long they go away?
You do, Randy. They're not learning that from nobody. They're not learning that.
Okay.
I'm just saying. Think about it.
Okay. There are basic things that you may know that got to happen. Because I don't want my baby to die, then let me go fix this bottle. But that's not nurturing.
That's not nurturing. You don't think that's nurturing, feeding your child?
No, it's because I just don't want them to die. And I don't want to get in trouble. I don't want to go to jail for killing my baby, for me starving my baby to death because I refuse to feed my baby because I don't want to be a mama. This is not what I asked for. That's a role I have to step into and play that mentally I might not be ready for. But here I am stuck. So let me just do what I got to do.
So Felicia Williams said it's more natural for women to be nurturers. Speaking from the biblical standpoint, it's a
biological standpoint. Biological, not biblical.
I'm just reading her comment, man. She said, from a biblical perspective, it's an innate ability. And that's the same argument I'm making. Like, some things are just who you are as a woman that men don't possess. Men were not made to be emotional beings. We're just not emotional creatures, or we shouldn't be over the top emotional. The emotion is from the woman. That's her nurturing tool. That's who she is. That's what she is.
Okay.
That's why
I'm gonna tell you,
the mother and the father in the same environment in the home are a necessary combination.
You said that you quoted scripture and you said,
Oh,
he that bindeth.
Not biblical, my bad. I don't have my glasses on.
Okay, put them on.
For capitalize that, Cap, because I damn sure can't see.
Yes.
She said biological.
Yes. So,
hold on. So
okay.
by saying biological, that really makes my argument.
No, that's science. That is science.
So that's an innate ability.
Biological is science.
Biological, that means you were born with it. That's my
No, you're not born to be nurturers. That is a role. That is a role that you play. You got, like, you tried to compare animals to having babies and their instinct to feed. What you don't know is those, once they're done and they know, okay, that animal is 6 weeks. He's not coming back for anything. He's sent out to the wild, doing whatever on his own. That's, first of all, that's not even the same as human beings. Their whole adaptation is different from us. So, one, there's no comparison. And two, again, I have to see it by example. I have to know by example. I will say that my mom used some abusive tactics to get my attention. I didn't like the way that felt to me. So I knew when I became a parent, I wasn't going to do my child like that. I didn't want my child to feel this way from me. So I did some things different than what my mom did, based on what? Feeling. Based on my mother's role in her life to me, she thought that's what she was supposed to do. So why? Because her mama did it to her.
You based it on your personal emotional needs, right?
Yes. Based on the role that I wanted to play. I don't want to play the role of an abuser. I don't want to be an abusive mother. So as a mother, I change my actions on what I do. And once I change my actions, my standpoint and my role and how people view, well, how my children view me, how my child views me is different. My son won't be able to go and tell anybody, my mama didn't hug me. There was no affection in my house. My ex-husband told me that every chance he got when I asked for affection from him. Oh, I don't know nothing about that. There was no affection in my house. We didn't say I love you. Well, guess what? When I began to show him what affection is, he began to reciprocate that, because he learned, oh, I do like this a little bit. This ain't so bad. And if it puts a smile on my wife's face, let me kind of get into this groove. Let me see what this is about. So again, role. So he wasn't born, his mom wasn't born nurturing. She didn't even show it to him. It's a learned behavior.
I still disagree.
And I disagree with you.
I still disagree. I just believe that 90%, and this is a me stat, 90% of women on this earth are natural nurturers. They are natural nurturing human beings. I don't think you have to learn to love, because love is an action word.
Love is a choice.
Love is a choice.
But it's a choice. I can choose not to love you. I can choose to care about you. I can choose to provide. I can choose to protect. But love is a choice. I don't have to love you to take care of you. I don't have to love you to show you attention. I don't have to love you to show you affection. Love is a choice, because then when I say I love you, I'm saying to myself, I'm willing to make sacrifices for this person.
So
I'm willing to go over and beyond.
you confusing the hell out of me now. So you
Now,
love me? You said you don't have to love me to sacrifice. So why would you sacrifice?
no, that's what I said. I said love brings sacrifice.
Oh, I
So
thought
when I say
you
I love
love
you,
me.
that means I'm placing, yeah, I mean, I'm placing myself in a position of sacrifice for you. I'm saying I can do everything else without loving you, because that's the role I choose to play.
So Lord Dotson said, so when we were in school and young guys beat their girlfriend up, they learn from seeing it most times.
I agree.
Yeah, they were just ignorant as fuck if they were beating up their girlfriends in high school. I mean,
Right.
yeah, I mean, so Felicia Williams said, and Felicia, please forgive, I don't have on glasses tonight. But I'm going to read this to the best of my ability. Felicia Williams says Psalms 131 and 3 and Isaiah 66:13 and Thessalonians 2 is at First Thessalonians 2 and 7 says it talks about how the nurturing capacities of women and how these reflect the nurturing heart of God. So now that she got that directly from the Bible.
But at the same
Nurturing heart of
time,
a woman, the nurturing heart of a woman is a direct reflection of God.
but she has to be of God. She has to have a relationship with God in order to reflect anything from Him. A relationship has to be established with God first.
So let's go back to Lori's point. So if a guy is beating up his girl, what if he never saw that from his own family? What if he never saw his dad put his hands on his mom?
He learned it from somewhere. It's coming from somewhere. It's directed from some type of energy, some type of mental disconnect, whatever it is. But he saw it, learned it from somewhere.
Does that
Whether
have to
it was
mean?
a TV show.
But does that have to mean he learned it from somewhere? We got women who
Yeah.
who lovers of themselves, who dating other women. We know when we were youngsters, that was like totally unheard of. Did they learn to be lesbians? Are these young boys learning to be homosexuals? I mean, where are they getting
I
it?
don't.
So
I will say this.
a lot of these young boys are saying, oh, I've been liking boys since I was born, or I've been feeling like I like girls since I was born.
Well, then I'm gonna say it like this, and how I feel. How I feel about that. If we're saying people are born homosexual, then we're saying God is imperfect.
I'm not saying anything. I'm asking the question.
I'm saying it. I'll say it. I'm saying if we're saying and accepting the fact that there are children born homosexual, then we're saying God is imperfect.
So Callie says she thinks that when men says wifey material on site, nurturer is what he sees. Like this, he sees this woman as a nurturer. So Chauncey chimed in and said, my dad put hands on my mom. That's how I learned what not to do. My mother, the screen jumping, y'all. My mother taught me better. If you hit a woman, you're hitting me. So he said he never did.
Mm-hmm.
Ron Love said some people be born with no arms.
That's okay.
You're going to have to explain that one, Ron.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right, Kelly. I need to wear my glasses. I will next week. So, anything you want to say in close? Because that's our hour.
No, I don't. I'm gonna let you close it out tonight.
Well, I want to close by saying I don't agree. No,
And I don't agree with you. So let's agree to disagree.
we're gonna agree to disagree because I believe that women are born to be natural nurturers, and that's just something I feel in my heart. I know that I could never have the emotional perspective that a woman has on certain outlooks and certain ideals about certain things in life. I just know men aren't built certain ways. And I think that's where the phrase men are from Mars, women are from Venus, because we think so much on different planets when it comes to certain things, because we are built, excuse me, I can't talk, we are built different.
Mm-hmm.
Certain things that they do, meaning women, that we don't understand. There are certain things that men do that women don't understand. And that's what brings us together as one. And I'll just go to my grave, I think, thinking like everybody's got a role. Everybody's got a role and everybody's got a part to play.
Absolutely.
So let me read Felicia's comment before I let her go. Kim Lewis said, there you go, Kim. I get your point wrong. So Felicia Williams said another point. God said the husband is to love the wife and the wife is to respect her husband. That's a fact. The Bible also says that the husband should love his wife as Christ loved the church.
Absolutely. I'm not going to ever disagree with word. Not
Yeah,
ever.
think
I think that men, when we talk about, as you mentioned earlier, you have those wives that, yeah, they were going off at work because they couldn't do it at home out of respect to what that man brings to the table, out of respect of how he provides, how he protects, and the role and the person that he became. As they used to say back in the day, he pays the cost to be the boss, and yeah, you get your ass somewhere and sit down, you know. Um, I do also know that there are men that know. I know what this woman is coming from and what her environment has been. And I want to be her saving grace. I want to be the person that secures her because I just see something about her. And again, women look for security. That's what we yearn for. We don't want to have to worry about certain things. We want to know when we lay our head down at night, things are taken care of. And again, those are learned behaviors because nobody just knows to do that. You decide to build a relationship with Christ, that means you study the word. That means you go through the process of salvation. You go through the process of change and know that your ways that you tried before wasn't getting you the results that you wanted or needed. So you change some things around you. You
yeah,
change the people around you.
when you want a husband, you should spend that time practicing. Look, getting married is the only thing, and this is gonna be my last point of the night. Getting married is the only thing that women don't practice for. Because when you talk about practice, you, I don't even want to. I don't even want.
Let's not go because when I say I'm about to raise the roof in my own house,
No, I'm gonna
we
say
could debate this all night.
I'm gonna save my point for next week because
Let's reconvene.
There is nowhere else in life that there's nothing about being a man that's breathtaking or earth shadowing because there's not the same level of respect for the man that there used to be. And I'm gonna just leave it right there. I'm gonna leave it at that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like Ron just said, men need security too. I'm gonna leave it right there.
Okay.
So hey, y'all, this has been another episode of What He Said with Kevin Walker, featuring my girl Randy Kelly. Thank y'all for joining us tonight on this episode. We had a nice little audience out here tonight checking us out, and we appreciate that. I don't know if it'll be Randy. If it is Randy, cool. She'll be back next week. But I most definitely, God say the same. We'll see you guys next Wednesday night, 8 p.m. We're gonna be on at 8 o'clock next week. Hey, tell a friend to tell a friend. Come check us out. What he said with Kevin Walker, with my girl Randy Kelly. Peace.